Hi, I'm Faith.
And I'm Nasa. And this is
Go Ladies, a podcast about navigating life, love,
and so much more
from a 40-plus perspective. I want muscles.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's kind of the song because it's like that pause and then you muscles.
You know like that.
You do. Nasa, thank you. She got on this whole No Limit Soldier jacket over. You Castro.
I know. It's my Castro jacket.
You know what we didn't talk about?
What?
Okay, I know. We have a topic, y'all. We do this every time.
Here we go.
Okay, before we go, though, welcome. Comment, like, subscribe, share. We're on all the platforms.
Yes.
We're on YouTube and everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Thank you. Do it right now. We'll wait. Okay.
I mean, we can save it. We didn't discuss ahead of time, but we've had some giants to pass on.
They passed when we were sick. Well, I was out sick, though.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But just an acknowledgement.
Yes, go ahead.
There's several. I don't want to miss anybody. Roberta Flack, Angie Stone,
Quincy.
No, Quincy had already passed. That wasn't why you was out.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Yes, they've already done in memoriam of Quincy. Like he had a tribute at the Grammys in February. But I'm going based off of that.
Oh, okay.
So it was Roberta Flack, it was Angie Stone. Correct. Dwayne Wiggins passed. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna pause there. I don't know why that one really tore me up because I love me some Tony. Love, okay?
Really?
Just as sure as my name is Dwayne. Oh, I'm singing the whole song. I had somebody once be like, you know all the words. I do. That is my song. So I don't know. I felt a way about that. And then I went to Oakland and when I go somewhere, I like to be immersed in the culture.
You do.
So, I wanted to meet MC Hammer. That did not happen.
No.
I still love you, Marcus. And then Tony, obviously Black Panther, all of that. But I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, that's it. That one did something to me. I can't stand you, Nasa.
I'm listening.
Roy Ayers, who is said to be like the godfather of neo soul. Everybody Loves the Sunshine. You should know that song if you're our age, maybe. But he passed. Who else passed? George Foreman just passed.
He did.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Why my mama tried to make him younger than her though? Well, he was like 60, and I was like, Mama, I think he right there with you. Like, he was just, okay. Well, I had the grill, and I had two of them because I would do fish on one, and then the other one would be for beef, and because I didn't want to cross-contaminate on the George Foreman grill. This was the whole conversation, and I was like, that's smart.
Okay.
So, yeah, R.I.P. See?
I didn't check.
Go get your Didn't we all have the George Foreman grill?
Grandma said that grill downstairs, so I'm playing.
Better use it. Somebody was like, that was the first air fryer.
He made mud of them grills.
He sure did.
So I am not mad at that. I love my grill. It was good for burgers. I really had this heyday with getting burgers done on both sides in a quick, fast, and in a hurry. Yeah.
So, R.I.P. We lost some legends.
We did.
So I just wanted to acknowledge.
In memoriam.
Call their names.
Podcast.
Yes. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yeah. That's what I got.
Okay.
Go. I do have another. Y'all, I'm random.
I know. She's driving today. I'm told no.
Well, okay. Do you want to start with the thing you watched or the the relationship thing? I know I keep touching you. I'm an old lady. I'm sorry.
The thing I watched.
Okay. So today, mainly, we're talking about relationships.
Yes.
Intimate relationships.
Yes.
And so Nasa's going to lead us off. And then we'll go from there.
She came like she's doing a seminar at work. And Nasa's going to take it for now for this. Thank you for coming to our professional development training today. I'm Faye. Like, what?
Well, it's something that you've seen. I have not seen.
Yes. Okay. Shan Boudrin, who has the podcast Lovers and Friends, it's now just been shortened to Lovers, had Lena Waithe on the show recently. And for those who don't know Shan is I'm going to use the word sexologist, but she really is a intimacy columnist, podcaster, and also counsels people about, intimacy and intimacy issues and being more in touch with their sensual side. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Sex, which is the most natural thing in the world, has been wrapped in so much tradition and taboo that it could be a mind fuck to get out of your head to enjoy pleasure, So her whole thing is about unpacking that to get to what your pleasure is. Not even a norm. I hate using the word norm. But what is pleasurable for you, and how do you become comfortable enough to speak up and ask for that? So I like her show. I think that she's cool peeps and very well versed in her field. So Lena Waithe on the show, they're talking about intimacy, and Lena Waithe was, I don't know, very much so cool in the fact that she was like, I don't have sex with everybody.
Right.
Everyone doesn't have sex with me. And simply because she's like, there's not enough discussion about what happens after that. She's like, okay, I have sex with you. Great. We have these orgasms. Great. Yeah. That is great. But at the end of that, what changes? Does anything change? In our relationship? Does that mean that we're together? Does that mean that this was just a physical release? Does this mean, she's like, and a lot of people don't have the conversation before the intimacy. So therefore they're looking like, one person thinks it's one thing, someone else thinks something different. Yeah. Also, is sex truly intimacy? She was like, I can be sweaty with you and have a great time with you, but do I know what makes you tick? Yeah. Yeah. Can I see you? Are we in a vulnerable place with each other? She's like, that doesn't happen just because of sex, you know? Yeah. And so it was a very interesting conversation because I know that for me, sometimes I think about when I think of intimacy, I do think of the physical act of intimacy and trying to, is that really being intimate? Right. Or is that just orgasmic? And really processing that. So I will say it did give me pause. I was like, let me think about that for a little bit and see, what are my thoughts on this situation? So it was, I recommend, checking it out. If I can't think about it, I'll try to link it in the description box. You can check it out too.
I think like you say, you define what intimacy is for you.
Yeah. I think that's the good thing about being in this age. We're both 40 plus. So we can deconstruct a lot of things we might have been taught or raised to do, and define relationship, in this instance, intimate or physical sexual relationship for ourselves and what floats our boat, what doesn't, and be able to articulate that, because if you can do nothing else up 40 plus, but say move to the left or whatever else,
come on,
advocate for yourself.
Yes,
at this big age, please.
I saw something
actually
true, but I saw something talking about perimenopause, but the things that are like developed as you go through it, like the kind of the science behind it, like your brain, different parts of your brain, and one of them was like the filter coming off, right? And you feel like when you're younger, it'd be respectable, be whatever, and then you get older, and those what we know, you just bleh, because we don't have time.
My mom called it the 40 fuckets.
Yeah, you're just bleh. This is what it is. This is how I feel. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not, depending on what it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, I think part of it is exactly what you're saying. The filter coming off. The other part of it is we get pissed off because I've played by your rules. And what has it afforded me?
Right. Yeah.
I've played by it. I've done the whole respectfully politics. I have looked the look. I have tried to do the thing.
Yeah.
I have, done the be the wife, mom, and whatever else. If you had that in your situation, I've done this. And what the fuck did it get me?
Where to get you? Yeah.
Other than high blood pressure and brokenness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so at that point, you start to unpack like, what if I just did me?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that even right now with the tire.
Yes.
Because I'm like, 3 years ago, the girls and I took a trip to New Orleans. And I made the comment that if I lived in New Orleans, I'd be a whole different person. And my daughter asked me, why does geography impact how you live? And I remember that on a regular basis because I'm like, there are certain things I don't wear or do wear or whatever. And I'm like, not gonna do that here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, where the fuck you want to wear?
Yeah. I agree.
Be happy. Like, I know that there's someone that we both know who has carved out a fashion thing.
Yeah.
And in the past, I will admit that I have been very critical of her fashion. However, does it bother me?
Right. Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, why do you care?
Why do I care? You know what I mean? And it's not like she has her ass hanging out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not some stuff that I wouldn't put on.
Right.
But if that's you and you are happy and you're doing you, and that's the other thing too. I mind my business a lot more now. I'm a lot less judgy now.
Good.
Because it's like, do you?
Absolutely.
Do you?
I feel you.
They get your whole ass out. We don't have the conversation. But that's different.
I'm with you. There are some things that I am, at this age, I am with the like, who cares? But then I can't completely disregard maybe the boomer and their generation before, because for me there's some things from every generation I feel like I can pull from. I can pull from my wearing a slip, proper undergarments. Those are just things that for me I'm not willing to be like, yeah girl, just let it hang. Well, you would look a whole lot better maybe if you just put a little spank on. I'm not saying don't wear the outfit, but or maybe so that, and I don't think that, but I'm not spending my time and wasting my time to go there, but it just, so I'm with you. Sometimes I go back and forth and I'm just like, but I do understand. Like I try not to waste a lot of breath or time on why they got that on, when I could be doing something else.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I feel you. So good. Okay.
Come on, drive the car.
The cat.
Drive the car.
Him. So Nace and I both
I'm ready.
We were on the interwebs.
Yes.
And I'm not even going to say names, all that stuff. But a question, I will feel like old this time. A question was posed. What is it? Why does dating suck? Why is it so hard? And it was posed, for this city. We are in Nashville. But it was someone who asked that question. And baby, when I tell you the phone lines lit up, the internet, the comment section was open. Okay?
Man.
So, yeah. We'll start there. I saw that and I was like, I immediately went to, this is about to get spicy.
And did.
And it did.
It did.
What are your thoughts?
Dating sucks.
I was, wondering in general.
Like, dating sucks.
Yeah.
It does.
It does. And it doesn't matter where you are. It's like these conversations are being had everywhere. And because it is difficult, especially when you are an adult. I will say that. So when you're in college, it's a oasis, right? It's a plethora of people. You're going to cross paths with people. It's like all that.
then you are an adult. I spend 10 hours a day at work.
Yeah.
And then I come home, and then you might get some hours at church, and then you have some hours out in the world with your friends or whatever else. But it's like, I'm not crossing paths with a lot of people, right?
True.
And so then you go to the apps. Okay, so then you're looking on the apps, and you're trying to, sift through the highlight reel of someone's life, and make a snap judgment on that, and it's difficult. And I think that the main thing about dating that is difficult is the lack of transparency. Everyone is leading with their resume and cover letter.
Absolutely.
Instead of just saying, hey, I'm Nasa. Yeah. I am this age. I'm looking for someone who is kind and is smart and attentive and wants to have sex on Thursdays. You know what I mean? And who doesn't mind going to the museum, right? Once a month. Yeah. And wants to go on a date every other week because they're busy too. You know what I mean? And wants to take a vacation with you every now and then, and is really in tune with their mental health and opens car doors, but will also smack you on the booty. You know what I mean? It should not be that hard, right? But what I find is, even if you do make that list, a lot of folks will be like, "Boom, I can do that." Yeah. Because they want to, yes, or even aspire to, yeah, but they can't. They can't, yeah. They cannot. Yeah. Yeah. Or it's in reverse where dudes like, I want this, this, and this, and women are like, oh yeah, I can do that, and you're trying to contort yourself to be it, and I'm like, yeah, let's not contort, and let's also not lie. If you really say this is what I want, then measure that up. Yeah. But then add to that, a lot of times the things you're looking for, a lot of folk don't know how to shop in their store.
We've talked about this, yes. Yep.
I believe in being yoked well on intellectual, a financial, and a physical/sexual level.
Find the words. I'm using my words. Yes.
Men have composite score.
We talked about the composite score.
However, you have to know what your composite is and do a for real self-assessment.
That's the thing.
Of where you are.
Who you really are and where you are now. Doesn't mean I can't change.
Exactly.
But yeah.
And I've heard dudes who on the scale of 1 to 10 are residing at a 3. And that's, again, beauty's not the beholder. But by societal norms, they're residing at a 3. Yeah. Talking about, well, I can't be with nobody who ain't no bad bitch.
I'm gonna look at my nails. But what's your A1C3? What's your cholesterol?
Exactly. I'm thinking about your composite score and the fact that you like your babies due tomorrow, but you want a bad chick to hold your belly up on her knees. Like, what? How's that work? And then if you're gonna want that, then how are you compensating for that? Like, yes, if you are a 3 on the physical sexual side, and your wallet's a 5.5, 6, and your power is a 6, none of that equals a 10.
No.
None of that equals a 10.
The math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing.
No.
And
it's interesting you say that, because I'm actually going to go back to Angie Stone. I don't know if you saw the clip. of her talking about, like, because when D'Angelo got with her, and obviously they have a son.
Yes.
And, you know, people were hard and people were harsh, and it was coming from black people. Like, you know what I mean? And I saw the clip after her passing, just her talking about, like, being just kind of the cool around the way girl, but being like, you know, she's hella talented and just a cool girl and a cool friend. And there are a lot of men and women, you want somebody, it doesn't have to be your best friend, but who, can we be friends even?
But do they like it? Because how many friends and people we know who are friends?
That's true.
And they're in the friend zone.
That does happen too. But then you have some that
the dude wants.
Yeah. Yep. That's my narrative, or it has been my narrative.
Everything. I can listen.
Girl.
I'm cool.
Yes.
I can tell you anything.
Yes.
But you don't make him hard.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
No, it's true.
So therefore, they're like...
And vice versa. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
It's like to even like who likes you. We've had that conversation. Yeah. And then why, you know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
It is. I will say though, there is a divide, and that we're gonna have to bridge. And I don't know how we're gonna bridge it.
Okay,
because there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
I have so many friends who've never been married, who are not in committed monogamous relationships at this moment. And again, if any dude comes to me and was like, hey, I'm looking for a girlfriend, I'm ready to settle down, you know, who you got as your friend to hook me up with? I'd be like, well, what do you like? And then we'd have that conversation. But I can always find somebody from my team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Now, whether she likes you or not, that's on her.
Exactly.
But I can find somebody from the team. If I go to a male friend,
and
say that, they're like, I mean, you know, well, why are you hanging with ancient people?
Why are they your friends?
Right, and then so if all your boys ain't shit, then where are the good dudes?
Right, yeah. Yep.
You know? Because that's what I always think about. Like, if you won't even vouch for your team.
Right.
Then why should we vouch for your team? And it's not just my friends.
Right. Yeah.
Every girl right now, call up your best male friend and ask him to hook you up with somebody. No, don't be saying. If he says, cool, I got Reggie right here, that's fine. But I bet you 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like, that little, you know, they're going to scratch their head a little bit, look a little confused. They're going to squint.
Yeah.
Like they're thinking, they ain't thinking.
Yeah.
They're not thinking. They ain't got nobody because they don't even value their own team. So how do you expect me to value my team?
Correct. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, why are you hanging with people like that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other part we have to also acknowledge is how we're rearing our children.
Come on, you and mommy.
I am. A lot of fathers who are around, because there's also that contingent that aren't around. Right. The fathers who are around normally say this to their daughters. Don't let these little boys, you know, get over on you. All they want is keep your skirt down. Your mother then tells you, make your own money.
Cool, you better preach.
Go out here. You got to be ready to stand on your own.
Hyper independence.
There's no guarantee you're going to find you somebody.
Hyper independence.
So be prepared to take care of yourself.
Yes.
You know? Don't be over here trying to be no gold digger.
Oh, yes.
Don't be over here, you know, doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So you have all this in your head.
I'm glad you said it.
And then we're telling men, how many girlfriends you got.
Exactly. Yep.
You know? Yep. Don't let them get you track you down.
Yes.
You know?
Therein lies the disconnect.
You know? And so then at some point you hit 30 and men are looking at black women saying, well, why aren't you submissive? Why don't you do X, Y, and Z? Why do you have 17 degrees? Why don't you know?
Thriving in your career.
Right.
And
then we're looking at men be like, well, why can't y'all settle down and just, why isn't one woman enough?
Yep.
And
it's mixed messages.
It's mixed messages.
It really is. I'm glad you said that. Because those kids grow into adults. And,
come on, people.
We become that. What you just said. A lot of us aren't. We don't go to college for the MRS, as they say. There are those that do. You married your college sweetheart.
I did.
Which is, to me, amazing. Yeah. But nowadays, it's not saying it doesn't happen, because I'm not, generalizing. Right. But a lot of times, I received that message in no uncertain terms. But it was, you go to college, you get a job, and I don't recall my mother talking to me about having a husband and being prepared for a husband.
People go to college to get education.
Yeah.
And then find a job.
Yeah.
Other groups go to college to network and find a spouse.
Yep.
The education ain't at the forefront.
No.
The networking actually is the primary focus.
Yeah.
Which, in hindsight, I ain't mad at this. I ain't mad at the hustle.
I ain't mad at it either. It's kind of like a business deal. I mean, who you marry matters.
Come on now. And Sheryl Sandberg Lean In. It's one of the biggest decisions you're going to make.
It sure is.
And it impacts so very much. But yeah, so lean in to that.
Yeah.
But so I think that we have to think about how we're raising our children. I mean, I've done it. Yeah. Like my daughters, I've told them, I want them to be independent. I want them to stand on their own, They've seen the highs and the lows of my marriage, So therefore, they are very much so aware of what it takes.
Yeah.
I also know that it manifests very differently in both of them.
Yes.
And so, and both are valid responses to what they've been taught and seen. So I can't be mad at it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I can now counsel to it. And,
yeah.
Just so you know, take a deep breath before you cuss them out. Like, woo, woo, woo. You might need to give him a little bit of grace.
Lord.
And then I got some other one. Don't give him no grace. He's trying to play. Don't give him no grace.
Yes.
Because they have different points of view. And so I have to make sure that I balance it out and be transparent about that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I know.
I am not a proponent of there are no good dudes in the world.
There are.
There are plenty of good dudes out there. There are plenty of good women out there. The disconnect is bringing them together. I think that's where the disconnect lies.
Okay.
And no one, when you're over the age of 40, because you lived, nobody wants to get hurt. And so that ability to be vulnerable is very, very difficult. And it takes a long time to be vulnerable.
Right.
And to also be honest about what you want at this age. Like honesty.
I don't know that a lot of people know. And I think that's part of the being honest part. It's being honest to say, I don't know what I want. I know things I like, but is that what I want? Is it what I need? Is it good for me? I think some people don't know. And they not all, but I feel like some people we lie to ourselves. Like, oh, like this. No, it's not. It's not. You don't want that in real life.
I think men lie to themselves more than women do when it comes to that.
Ooh, I can see that.
Because I have this theory.
Yeah.
That men don't marry who they love on their first time out.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah,
they marry who fits the checklist. Men get to a certain point.
Yeah.
And they realize, my boys getting married and having kids. I got promoted. My coworkers have spouses. I should get me one now. And so then they're like, I love her. I love her.
Right, even how you said it. Yeah. Trying to convince yourself.
I love her. Yeah. She has a good job. And she'll be a good parent to my children.
She's good on the resume.
Yes. And my mama like her.
My mama like her.
She gets along well with the family. I can see this. I can see this.
We could build something.
Yeah, we can build something. Which is a valid conversation to have, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, do you want her? Or is she just a placeholder?
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of men get married and say that they want it.
Yeah.
And then don't do right by it.
Right.
Because the reality of it is, the logic side wants it.
Yeah.
But the other side doesn't. You know? And so you have this person who's a space holder.
Yeah.
I feel like when men get married for the second time, it's normally one of two reasons. A, they realize they fucked up on the first. Okay. Like, who is going to make my breakfast and put my drawers in the drawer?
Come on.
And suck my dick on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays.
Huh. I gave you another wife. But in reality, you don't need a wife. You need a housekeeper.
Hello.
And a sex worker.
And a sex worker. I feel like that lends to nurse versus purse.
Girl.
Because I think in our hyper independence, we're gonna be okay. We gonna get older. We all right. Who gonna fold their drawers? Who gonna make them food? Like, they get older, and I'm just adding that element to it and realize, well, shit, I ain't got nobody. I need to get me a person to take care of me. So then is she either gonna have money or is she gonna be my nurse? I just need somebody to take care of me. Which is, I'm throwing that at you because I'm like,
it's true.
When I first heard that, I was like, wow, you're right. Because women, again, being raised, we're gonna be good regardless. So that's the message.
That does play a role too when you are thinking about. We know dudes who reach a certain age.
Yes,
they got the ED and the gout.
Hello,
but now they want to get married.
Now they talk about it.
What for? What?
Yes, and a lot of women aren't going. I've heard some women are like, "No, what? You're not. I'm not about to be your nurse." Nope.
No, because here's the thing.
No.
The research shows that when it reverses and she has the breast cancer.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
They quick to do.
Yep.
B. Smith's husband had a whole chick.
Oh, Jesus.
In the house. And I'm not trying to talk about nobody because I know that when you're a long-time caregiver, it is hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I know that's a long road. And I'm not saying he has to be by himself forever in a day.
Right.
I don't know the people personally.
Right. We don't.
I'm just saying the perception of it is, though,
you got
that, like, damn.
Yeah, can she?
Because if B. Smith had a side dude
in the house,
the world ain't gonna feel the same way and be as forgiving.
Yep. And we all living together.
Right.
What?
The fuck?
What are you talking?
You know?
Okay. All right.
So
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
So it's true. A lot of times men don't step up when people have sickness and terminal illnesses or whatever else. They quick to dip.
They out. Yeah.
They quick. I didn't sign up for this. Yes, you did. For better, for worse, in sickness and health.
Yeah.
That's the sickness part. Yeah. You said that.
Yep. That's
so
true.
Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's the story on, was it? Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't know if you ever watched that. But one of the women on there dealt with, I think it was breast cancer. And he didn't leave her, but he wasn't kind. Like in the still wanting to like have sex and not being understanding what the medicine does to you. And I just don't understand why like you not fulfilling your wifely duty. Like it like legit all played out on camera. We know, go on and breathe. but I remember, and I don't watch the show faithfully, but I do remember that being a storyline, and it was real. And she's just like, "Are you serious right now?" Because I didn't suck your dick while I'm dealing with cancer. Like what? Yeah. To your point, there's that example. So.
That makes me angry.
I know it does.
I don't watch that show, so I'm not going to
watch it.
But that makes me angry.
I know, but it was real. It was a real thing.
Yeah. So no.
Choose wisely. Choose wisely.
I am not technically looking to get married again.
You've said that.
Like that's not how my thing to do list.
Okay.
So no, if I pop up married, that
he must have.
The Lord just said, "Hey, nice up, lock in." I'd be like, "Huh?"
He did be talking to you.
Yeah. I'm like,
"Huh? Me?
Huh? N-E-Y? I say." Oh, that's me. That is me. Okay, just checking, making sure, make sure it was me.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, all right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But I do want long-term committed companionship.
Yeah, I could see that.
Stedman to my Oprah.
And a lot of people do that.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
A lot of people do that.
Like, just... I want the +1. Mm-hmm. I want the, hey, here's how my day went. Mm-hmm. I want the Thursday.
Yeah.
I want, I want that. I also, though, don't want someone who wants me to be at their beck and call. Mm-hmm. Like,
how do you, now I'm really about to throw a curveball.
Throw it on out there.
Poly. Or non-ethical,
ethical non-monogamy.
Ethical non-monogamy.
Yes.
One, just obviously for example, in Harlem.
Yes.
The character.
Kofi.
And Kofi.
In real life.
His fine ass guy.
He's really like that.
Oh, really? I didn't know
I think he's really like that.
Okay. That's his business.
Yeah.
Second, AJ, the actress. Jody Mama. Not baby mama. She recently was on a show. She did an interview and she was talking about, I think she has like 3 men in her roster. Mm-hmm. But she's talked about being like a truly woman of the world. Her passports, she speaks different languages. Mm-hmm. And
AJ Johnson.
Thank you.
Party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shireen.
Fitness trainer. Yeah.
Yeah, she was talking about having a guy like this, and she was like, this guy is who I travel with. And this other guy, you know, she didn't bring up sex. I'm assuming it's there, obviously. But like, when you're not finding necessarily what you're looking for in one person, for her right now, she has like 3 different guys. Yeah. And one is designated for this and the, you know. So I'm just curious your take on that, because as long as I've known you, you're definitely a monogamy girl. So I'm just curious as to, you are. It's okay.
I know.
It's okay.
You and Carrie.
I mean, you are, but it's okay. But, you know, there are people who don't find, I guess, or they feel they don't find the one, or they feel as though maybe I'm not meant for that lifestyle, but I just like.
So, okay. So,
you know what I mean?
There's a 2-part question there.
Yeah.
So, do I believe that you can be ethically non-monogamous? Yes. Period, point blank. I think there are some people in the world who never want to be settled down and never want to have one person, and they like to taste the rainbow and the Skittles. Okay. And if that's what you like and that's what you're committed to, go forth and do it. I think also in the AJ situation, again, I didn't see that piece you're talking about, but in the fact of, she hasn't found the one. Right. And so I have no issue with her being ethically non-monogamous until that one comes along. Yeah. If it happens to be a person that's encapsulates all that, you know? Yeah. That's not the right word, but who embodies all that, you know? That makes sense too. Right. Long as you're being honest and everybody involved is on the same page. That's the thing. That's the part that makes sense to me. Yeah. You know? I have no qualm with people defining relationship in a myriad of ways. If you want to be poly, if you want to be open, if you want to be whatever, I think the key thing is make sure the rules are established in whatever relationship you're in, even between 2 people, about what does that look like to me. I think the question that we don't ask enough, and I've asked it before, is what is a girlfriend like to you? Okay. Like, what are the duties that you expect of a girlfriend? And what are the duties that you expect a boyfriend to do? You know? Yeah. Like, let's define these roles and see if the job description we both have in our head actually match. Because I can say I want a girlfriend, but do I want your type of girlfriend? Yeah. Or no? Yeah. You know? Okay. And so having that conversation, I think, is key. What defines cheating? In today's world, if I like old girls post 3 times in a row, right? Y'all ready to fight? Is that ready to tussle? Or is that if I'm in the DMs? Right. I know about the DMs. You know, like what? How do you define that? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I think that's the key to have that conversation. You can't slide this. You try to be cute. I'm a nigga too. My leg, no, you're not. To fall off. But I think that's also a key point when having these conversations. Like, I have no problem with people dating multiple people. Okay. I am currently not in a monogamous relationship right now. Right. So, yeah. if I go out for lunch today and see him with somebody else out, ain't shit I can say.
Right.
Other than
understood.
Other than
and I know you too. Hey, how you doing?
Right, how you doing? That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't be mad about it.
Right.
I know people though,
absolutely,
who are dating.
Yes,
and I'm like, y'all have not had any conversation. But I mean, is she out there over there with him? Well, I mean, what's that? Well, what, did you ask her out tonight?
Y'all don't go together.
Y'all don't go together. Y'all have.
I think those are, but like you said, being honest with ourselves and the narratives that we tell ourselves in our head. In your head, you created a whole story, y'all together. But like you said, you see him out somewhere, and now you're in your feelings because you didn't clearly define what it is that the two of you are doing.
But also, I also feel like dudes think that the minute I say hello to you, you're now off the shelf.
Yeah, no.
We just said hello. Ain't nothing off the shelf over here. So you see me with Reggie on Tuesday, Chauncey on Wednesday, and Gerard on Thursday.
These are some names.
You know? I know. Come on, a certain age, you gotta got these regal names. Yes. These are 401k. You know, but seriously, you can't say nothing. You know? Now, if you said, hey, I believe in dating one person at a time only to see where we're going to go, then I can either say, hey, I don't know if I rock with that, or I do.
Absolutely.
But that's a conversation.
Understood.
Here's the bottom line.
Talk about it.
Use your mouth in a way that is actually communicative.
Yes.
Like, sit down with someone and talk to them. Yeah. Like, it's that simple. Like, I'm not one that hides a lot.
No, you don't.
I'm pretty transparent.
Hell yeah.
And so if someone wants to talk to me, know that you're going to get that. Also know that I'm also going to read the room. Yeah. And I'm going to take you at face value. Right. Until you say something different. I'm over trying to jump through hoops. I'm over trying to audition for stuff.
We're running hot.
I know. I'm over all that, you know? I just want to, let's just vibe out.
I'm with it. I like it.
Yeah.
And you're not responsible for how like that person responds. If they choose to then not deal with you, be okay with that. But lay it all out there.
Exactly.
And allow the person to pick what they want to do with it.
I want you, so I'm going to lay all this out here for you. Yeah. But then when you don't want this, then you mad. Well, no. My honesty does not negate yours.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Ta-da.
Use your mouth. Moral of it. Hey.
That's all you get in my head. The song.
Go ahead and close this out, Mace.
Okay, so thank you for rocking with us. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Check us out on all the platforms. iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, because you want to see in my new braids.
They're cute.
And face hats.
My hat, because my hair not done. But I don't have on a bonnet. I got a hat.
You
got a cute little head.
Thank you. You do have a little head.
Thank you.
Anyway, let us know. Men, weigh in. We always ask the ladies to weigh in.
We do.
I'm asking the men to weigh in.
Where y'all at?
Let's start there. Where y'all at?
Okay.
All right.
Talk to you
later.
Bye.
Bye.